we have kind of our gut lining in our stomach. That's our gastric tissue. And then we're going to have our mucosal lining in the small intestine. And so the stomach, the main job of the stomach is to produce a bunch of acid. That acid is going to activate a lot of proteolytic enzymes, and you're going to take that pH and you're going to bring it down nice and low. And that acidity is going to, one, it's kind of disinfects the gut. It's going to kill a lot of the microbes that are maybe bad in there, or make it harder for them to grow. It's going to help. That acidity is going to close off that esophageal sphincter. It's going to activate your proteolytic enzymes like pepsin and start that digestive process happening. Now, if that mucosa in that stomach, that gastric tissue is thinned out, that mucus layer produced by the goblet cells is weared away, you may have some gastritis or some atrophic gastritis. That thinning of that gut lining is thinned away, and you're just a lot more sensitive. It's like going out in the sun after you already have a sunburn. You can just feel the tiny bit of sun hitting the back of your shoulder, even through your shirt. You can feel that warmth, and you're like, ooh, that hurts. And so what do you do about it? So first off, you have to look at what the root causes are. So if it's chronic gut lining, gut irritation issues, do you have enough stomach acid? And they said, yeah, enough, because some people don't have enough stomach acid and the food kind of rots inside of their gut. And that rotting of the food putrefies, it rancidifies, it ferments. And you're actually going to get an increase in acid from the food rotting. But that indigestion of not enough stomach acid is a big driving factor of that gut lining getting irritated. Of course, if you're chronically under stress and that sympathetic nervous system, those adrenals are under stress, what may happen is that cortisol that you're secreting, or that chronic stress, that sympathetic nervous system state, is going to cause more cortisol, and that cortisol can also eat away at that gut lining. So if you're chronically stressed and chronically inflamed, that can significantly thin out that gut lining just due to stress and cortisol. So we have this chronic stress situation with the adrenals. We have potential inadequate levels of stomach acid. And thus, if we have low stomach acid, guess what? We're probably also going to have low enzyme levels too, because we need hydrochloric acid to be able to activate our enzymes. And then outside of that, food allergens. So if we're eating a lot of chronic food that's inflammatory, whether it's processed sugar, refined grains and flours, excess omega-6 fatty acids, gluten, all that junk, right? More conventional dairy, a lot of casein, that's going to keep that gut inflamed if there's a lot of food allergens. And so just going the conventional route to your medical doctor asking for a food allergy test, it's typically not going to pick these things up, because your MD is going to typically run like an IgE type of anaphylactic type of allergy issue. And a lot of these allergies are maybe IgE or delayed mediated responses that aren't going to be picked up by your simple antibody test. And so got to keep that in the back of your mind. So if you talk to your doctor about that, your MD, your allopath, they may go over their head. They're not aware of that. So we have foods, we have enzymes and acids, we have chronic stress and inflammation via like our adrenal glands, right? Via emotional stress, poor sleep. And I would say also just bacterial imbalances. We could have bacterial overgrowth in the stomach. You can test this with a stool test. Again, stool test is going to look at the whole entire 20 to 30 feet tube from your stomach to small intestine through your colon.